first 100 feet, but also around the roadway too. Another aspect of the ready phase is hardening the home, and really what that means is making your home more resilient to wildfire.
That's going to be putting the fine-grained mesh around the vents of your home so that embers won't get under your house or into the eaves of your house. That's going to be using non-combustible materials on your deck and around your home, so when an ember storm comes through, it's not going to ignite your home itself.
I currently live here in Grass Valley with my parents. All of us have sleep apnea, so we all have CPAP machines that require power in order to run.
I also use a nebulizer, and that's used to disperse medication that I need to get myself breathing again. When we have safety shutoffs, we have to hook up our equipment to batteries that have inverters.
We have a generator that powers some of the things around the house, but then I obtained a pretty substantial battery from Freed, and it was so easy to go through the process to obtain a battery that I would recommend it to anyone who might have medical needs that require power, or really anything. I would highly recommend contacting Freed.
So whether it's a snowstorm or a public safety power shutoff, we really want folks to be thinking about, okay, what are the things I'll need on hand to weather the storm? Do I need to have candles? Do I need to have battery-powered radio? Do I need to have flashlights? So what are the things that you'll need to shelter in place or address the disaster at hand?
So a go bag could be anything. It could be a backpack, it could be a suitcase. It's going to be something that you put together to sustain yourself, your family, your pets if needed. That's going to have food, water, medication, clothing, toiletries to get you by for 72 hours. You need to think of your go bag as the only resource you may have. Stores may be closed, the power may be out, so you may have to literally live out of this thing for a 3-day period as an evacuee.
If you are someone with a disability, maybe you have a chronic health condition. For me, I have type 1 diabetes, I have an insulin pump, right? And so that's a critical piece that I need to plan for if I'm gonna ever evacuate or be away from my house, frankly, for any amount of time, right? What we find often is that if people don't evacuate with their CPAP machine, with their oxygen concentrator, with their wheelchair, walker, then it can be difficult on the other end.
My name is Ulysses Palencia. I work in the 211 call center. I'm just a resident of Grass Valley. I have 2 daughters, a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. In Nevada County, 211 is available 24/7. So what we provide for the community is information. That could be anything from directions to the resource centers. It can be letting them know where the fire is, if they are themselves in an evacuation center, if it's a fire, if there's any information as to whether their power's coming back on during a PSPS. 211 gets the information that we provide directly from the county, so directly from the Office of Emergency Services. The whole team cares. We're all local community members. We all just want to help.
So we were all sleeping in bed on Thursday, November 8th in Paradise. And first the house phone rang. Picked up my phone. It was my sister who lived a block or so away from us.
We were woken by a telephone call from my daughter. She said that we were being evacuated.
I left sooner than them. I had everything ready. They were on the way out the door.
There was not time to think about what you're going to take, what you're not going to take.
The night before the fire, I knew it was a red flag warning, and I knew that it was a high risk. So on my way home, I filled up the tank.
On our way out, we didn't get too far from the house, and we're watching fire coming down the hill.
There was a machine.
We'll call this meeting to order of the Nevada County Board of Supervisors. This is the regular meeting of July 11th, 2023. Rachel, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, are there any corrections and/or deletions to the agenda?
Chair Schofield, there are no corrections or deletions on the agenda.
Okay. Then we will go right into the public comments. Members of the public shall be allowed to address the Board of Supervisors on items not appearing on the agenda that are of interest to the public and within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. I think most of you know what the rules are. You have 3 minutes, and I do want to point out if somebody should wish to call in, the number is 530-270-3474. If you'll come up, give your name and your district, would be appreciated. Michael?
Michael Taylor, District 1. Last meeting, I talked a little bit about the administrative hearing process and expressing why I believed it was important to have an administrative hearing process. Currently, the administrative hearing process is only available for folks that have been issued a citation. It's not available for someone who's been issued a citation notice. It's not available for someone that has a complaint with county staff or something to do with a county process. In reference to the Ranch House project, beginning with the Planning Commission, I was shut down asking for a continuance for that based on the fact that I did not get my public records request in a timely manner before the Planning Commission meeting. That was a violation of the Planning Commission policies. In order for me to express this to you guys in a manner that could be heard, it would be through an administrative process, a process that existed prior to 2019. During that meeting, or prior to that meeting, there was the staff, 5 or 6 staff, met with Planning Commission behind closed doors for 20 to 30 minutes. The staff are the applicants. The applicants are meeting behind closed doors with the 3 planning commissioners. That's a Brown Act violation, in my opinion. Again, if I had the ability to have the opportunity to do an administrative hearing process, I could bring that forward. Moving forward, the county has placed 4,000 yards of material on the Ranch House project. That 4,000 yards of material has been written off as old news or it's behind us, let's let it go. However, I don't have a process for bringing that in front of you guys to say that I think there's a violation here. The failed septic system on the property. I filed a complaint. The complaint was found invalid. Just a month ago, the county acknowledged that the system has failed by justifying the need to tear down the property and rebuild the property. Again, if I had the opportunity, I could have brought the proof, shown that the system has failed, and then that could have been validated. The 2 septic tanks that are being placed in the wetlands, I brought up with Heidi present, with the planner. It was agreed in the meeting with the neighbors, Heidi, and the planner that the 2 septic tanks would be moved out of the wetlands. Again, if there was an administrative hearing process, I could bring this to you guys and suggest something different or just create a different outcome so that the 2 tanks aren't in the wetlands. Soils analysis. I've asked for the soils analysis to be done for the septic system. I've been told that there's no reason to redo the soils analysis from 18 years ago because there's not a significant change. Again, I could bring evidence to you guys, there's a significant change. On the edge of the property, the Eden Ranch has used their repair area, and there is a septic system on the edge of the property, Ranch House property, that would support the need for new soils analysis. Again, an administrative hearing process, I could bring this to you guys' attention through that process. We need an administrative hearing process that allows public to let you guys know what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Lee?
Good morning, Board. Once again, I'm here about the Alta Sierra Country Club fire hazard that's being created. I've had mostly silence from the board as to directions and communication. However, I did finally get a response from the code department, Craig, and telling me exactly what I already knew, was that they couldn't do anything about it with the current ordinance in place. There's been no other response from my district supervisor, who was going to talk to the Alta Sierra Country Club CEO. I still need guidance from the Board of Supervisors. One of my questions is, don't we really need to get into this, make sure we've covered all the elements that we should be covering about the land use code and the fire problems that are created? Do we need a citizens group to maybe discuss the current ordinance and get input from the public again? I know this is a tough situation. It's tough to do anything. However, I have the feeling that nothing is being done, that this is not being looked at again. And we will see nothing happen. And so where do we go from here? As you can see, I'm not going to let this die. I'm appalled at the lack of communication from the Board of Supervisors and the guidance that I need. I'd like to hear more about this, see if maybe we can do something to take a look at this and analyze what the code really says and versus what we really need. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lee. Hello, Bill.
Good morning, Board. I have a few points to make, and I'll do my best to make it in 3 minutes. First, I wanted to thank that gentleman that just talked. My opinion, I mean, I've lived up here in this county for many years. I think it's time that neighbors should help neighbors as far as the fire threats. Because like I stated before, if you drive to Placer County, it's a totally different matter. I mean, everything is well kept up. There's no fire threats driving down Auburn Folsom Road, almost to Roseville. I mean, everything was just clean, spotless, and immaculate. And I, for one, don't want Nevada County to be another paradise, but if you guys don't step up to the plate and help each other, that's exactly what's going to happen. And also, as far as all you folks getting pay raises, I think there should be a freeze on you folks getting pay raises, because you got to remember, it's the taxpayers and the people that come to these meetings all the time that helped you get to where you are. Also, I was very disturbed about all the money that you approved for the LGBTQ community. Also, I really believe we need to have meetings in the evening so that people that are working every day and don't have time to be here will have their voices heard. And one last thing, as far as the kids, it breaks my heart in a million pieces that parents aren't fighting back against what's happening in the schools. And I know for a fact that I've been to school board meetings, and I've seen firsthand what's going on in schools at Nevada Union, and it's just sickening. And we've got to be Americans once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. All right, is there any other public comment? Madam Clerk, is there any phone calls or emails?
Chair, there are no commenters by phone or by written comment.
Very good. Then we will close the public portion, comment portion of this meeting and move on with our agenda. And at this point, we'll go into our consent calendar. These items are expected to be routine and non-controversial. The Board of Supervisors will act upon them at one time without discussion. Any board member may request that an item be removed from the consent calendar for discussion. Members of the public wishing to ask questions or hear discussion or on items listed under the consent agenda may raise their concerns to the board members prior to the consent agenda being introduced. The supervisors will take the concerns under consideration and decide if there is adequate reason to remove the item from consent. Board members, any items? No. No. Staff, any items? No. Public, any items you'd wish to see pulled? All right. Seeing none, I would entertain a motion. Motion, Supervisor Hall.
Second.
Second, Supervisor Swarthout. Madam Clerk.
District 4,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 1,
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 2,
Yes. All right. All right, where am I here, guys? All right, if we were going to take a quick recess, is that right? Yes. We're going to take a quick recess at this time, and we are going to adjourn the regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Nevada County Sanitation District. And what we have are consent items. We have 2 consent items, same as general public. Anybody wish to pull anything? No. Anybody with the general public wish to pull anything on the sanitation district? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion here.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
Supervisor Swarthout, seconded Supervisor Bullock. Madam Clerk?
District 4,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 1,
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 2.
Yes. All right, so we will adjourn the meeting of the Sanitation District, number 1, and go reconvene as the Board of Supervisors.
Chair Schofield,
Yes?
I believe there should be an opportunity for general public comment.
Absolutely. Anybody, general public, any public comment on the Sanitation District? Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, seeing none, once again, we'll adjourn the Sanitation District and move into our department head matters. First one is a presentation, California State Association Counties Challenge Award to Nevada County Agricultural Department for the Nevada Placer Yuba Disaster Livestock Access Program. And do you want to take that, Allison?
Yeah, it's my honor to introduce Graham Canals, who's the CEO of CSAC, who has come up here today to not only honor our Ag Department, and Chris Denies, your Ag Commissioner, could not be in person today, but he is on Teams. I'd also like to recognize Steve Shearer, who is the Ag Commissioner with the Yuba County Ag Commission, and this award really represents a regional effort, and we're just really happy to have you here, Graham, and to recognize this regional initiative. Thank you.
Great. Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to join you today. As a Placer County alum, it's always nice to get a little further up the hill and spend some time in Nevada County, one of the most beautiful counties in the state for sure. I am Graham Canals. I'm the CEO of the California State Association of Counties, which means I have the great opportunity to represent your board and every other board in the state. And I really appreciate you, Chair Schofield, in terms of your leadership and history with us as twice CSAC treasurer and as someone that served on our executive committee for some time as well. But also want to recognize Supervisor Hall, who currently serves on our executive committee, and last week was appointed to the National Association of Counties Western Interstate Region Board, of which California has 2 seats. And so we're very pleased to have Supervisor Hall in that leadership at a national level, particularly focusing on rural and public lands, outdoor recreation related issues on behalf of counties all across the country. So that is awesome. I also want to thank Allison Lehman, your CEO, who's been a great partner for a number of years and makes us better at what we do down the hill in Sacramento. We work on a whole host of issues across the spectrum, have a number of priorities. I'm going to talk about homelessness very briefly before getting into the award, but also want to recognize the other issues that are really important. Disaster preparedness and response, which actually touches on the driver around the award today. Water-related issues, transportation-related issues, behavioral health, and the need to make a substantial change there and in terms of our partnership with the state. This year, perhaps like any other in recent memory, we have heavily focused on one issue with an all-county family approach, and that is indeed homelessness. And so through the leadership of our executive committee, including Supervisor Hall, we developed the at-home homelessness plan, which is the first comprehensive plan to address homelessness that we've seen, which is really about clarifying who's supposed to do what to ensure that there's real accountability to communities and that local government is armed with the resources, the authority, and the flexibility to do things in a way that makes sense in your community. That's the goal, and certainly very fortunate and thankful for Nevada County's early support around that issue. As you all know, having remarkable staff is what makes counties make progress and deliver the most effective services to your community. And Nevada County has a long history of investing in your team. And you've done that both internally within your county and also in partnership with us through our California Counties Foundation and our CSAC Institute, which is the national model for leadership and policy development training. I believe you are either the first county, yes, in terms of the credential leadership on the part of the board, on the part of the CEO's office, and really across your leadership in the county. So you've been setting a model around moving forward and being responsive to your community for many, many years, and that is awesome. I'll mention one other thing, which is we have a new program. It's a CSAC Grants Initiative, which is particularly focused on smaller rural communities and the often inability to access appropriate state and federal dollars that require a grant application and a whole capacity internally in order to address that. And so our past president, Supervisor Valenzuela from Siskiyou County, wanted to ensure that there were resources available for smaller communities to get their fair share of federal-related dollars. And so we've been working in partnership with a number of counties around that issue. And that is about ensuring that you are armed to have appropriate innovation in your county to deliver services in the most effective way possible, to elevate your community up and meet its priorities. And that is exactly what our CSAC Challenge Award program is intended to find. The program has been in place for a number of years, actually 20 years. We had more than 300 entries this past year, and of the 300, there were 14 counties that are being recognized. You are one of them for pursuing innovation locally. And in your case, that is related to Nevada County's Disaster Livestock Access Program, which is about regional approach to solving problems. It's about partnership. It's about advanced planning around disasters, all really important things. Our judging panel, which is comprised of county leaders and folks outside of counties, was really struck by the collaboration approach in this particular program. The ag departments here in Nevada, in Placer, and in Yuba in creating this program, and also partnering with the sheriff's departments and CAL FIRE and the County Office of Emergency Services. This program allows ranchers to apply for a livestock access pass so that they have cards in hand before disaster strikes. What's really important about this is that when disasters strike, chaos ensues. Disasters replace every other priority when they occur, and having a program that arms ranchers with this livestock access pass, which reflects training and emergency procedures, and it confirms their connection to their property and as ag owner operators or employees, so that you can best protect the livestock that are in place. And so this is a really remarkable approach to ensure that in the midst of chaos, in the middle of a disaster, there's an ability for folks to access livestock to ensure that they too are safe, and to do so in a way that does not risk public safety. In fact, it protects it in many respects. Last year through this program, there were 3 different trainings held in Nevada, Placer, and in Yuba counties with 45 individuals that have thus far participated to have access to these cards. And so I want to recognize the county's innovative, collaborative, and replicable, which is very important, disaster livestock access program. This is facilitating the care of commercial livestock before, during, and after a disaster. And as we all know, it takes proactive planning to be best positioned to protect your community during a disaster. And that's exactly what this is. Smart policy, training to ensure that folks aren't trying to navigate through how to ensure that their livestock is protected during the disaster, but rather have mechanisms in place to do so ahead of time. And so that is why it is my honor to present a 2022 Challenge Award to Nevada County for the Disaster Livestock Access Program. I want to congratulate this board for your history of leadership and pursuing of innovation, and also the County Agricultural Commissioner and Sealers Department, both here in Nevada, but also in Placer and Yuba counties, and the incredible hardworking county staff that make it all happen for this award-winning program. So with that, congratulations to you all.
All right. So Graham, it's an honor to have you here, and I know the fact that there's multiple counties involved in this is very important to you too. And as I go to comments, the first person I'm going to go to is Supervisor Hook, who knows firsthand what this project means. And welcome Chris Denise. Chris, congratulations to you and the work that you've done on this. Sue?
No, thank you for being here. I am really proud of our team that put this together, actually. I mean, we live in this very rural community. We're diversified. We have all kinds of livestock. I mean, for myself, I raise cattle, and in the midst of a disaster, what am I going to do with 200 head of cattle? Right? So this became really important as we looked at this and working with our first responders, sheriffs being coordinated. And we saw this in our last 2 fires. Jones Fire, even our Rice fires, we had livestock that was in the areas that needed to be moved into safe places. And so anyway, really proud of our ag department, the work that was done through Yuba County, Placer County. Our first meeting we had out at the Ag Center out at Browns Valley was amazing for the first trainings that came out there. And I'm not sure how many people came to the last one now, but people are moving forward that. And I think we're going to look at extending it at some point. So again, proud of this county for being innovative and really looking at different ways to become more efficient, especially during emergencies. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Sue. Now our CSAC representative, Heidi.
Thank you, Chair. It is an honor, Graham. Thank you so much for coming up this way and for all the ways you have acknowledged that our county is indeed innovative and beautiful. We do think it's the best, but we are biased. But appreciate you coming all this way. And I want to also give a shout out to my colleague, Supervisor Hook, who has done so much for the agricultural community here in the county, and to staff with whom she's worked. And staff themselves. Chris, thank you for all the work that you've done on this. It's great to get a statewide acknowledgement for the good work that we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi. And our CSAC alternate, Hardy.
Yeah, thank you, Graham, for coming up. Appreciate it. In 58 counties, and I see you everywhere. So thanks for the support of the rural county initiative and everything we do here. So very appreciative. Chris, great work, and Sue, great work. I don't know a lot about it, but I don't need to, because I can ask Sue questions about anything agricultural or livestock. But no, I do understand. I remember this coming up during those fire periods, and also all the volunteers that volunteer to go into these areas and move livestock. Once the pass is initiated, they can get in there with trailers, and that's a lot of work and a lot of activity and a lot of preparation. So thank you for acknowledging it. Thank you for coming up, taking your valuable time to come up here and talk to us.
Lisa.
Thank you. I will echo Hardy's comments. I don't know a lot about this either, but I'm lucky that Sue's right next door, so she can answer all of my questions. But I really love the collaborative nature of this program. I think that we're all better when we do this together, and we all have similar needs. So thank you for all the work. Chris, thanks for the hard work from your department, and hopefully this year we'll have less use for having to evacuate. Fingers crossed.
Well, and again, Chris, I want to thank you, especially for the work that you and your team put into this, and to recognize you. You just got on a national committee, if I'm not mistaken. Can we hear you?
Yep, I'm here. Yeah, I was recently
Okay.
appointed to the Federal Wildlife Services Committee. But yeah, thank you guys for all your gratitude.
Chris is a man of many words. Is there any public comment on this? All right.
So Chair Schofield, I
Chair
believe we
Schofield.
have
Oh, yes,
the
Allison.
Ag Commissioner from Yuba County here.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm Steve Scheer, Yuba County Ag Commissioner. So I just showed up to see the award get presented. I think everything was said by your CSAC representative about the collaboration between CAL FIRE and our OES and our sheriffs in 3 different counties. Sometimes that's a big haul, but everybody worked together towards this program. The one person I don't think was recognized is Dan Macon, UC Extension. He was really kind of a spark plug behind this, got us all together. He's pretty much responsible for coordinating the program during an disaster between the 3 counties and making sure producers get a hold of the right commissioner for access and things like that. So I think most importantly, we established crucial communications with CAL FIRE, our sheriffs, and our producers in our office. So in the future, things will just flow a lot smoother. And like everybody here says, hopefully we won't have to use this in the near future. So, but thank you very much for the award. We appreciate it.
thank you, Steve.
Oh, you want me to hold that? Okay.
We're not taking any action on this, are we? No. So let's do
Chair
a,
Schofield, may I say a few words?
yes, you may, Chris.
Sorry. Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Board. Thank you, Graham, and your entire CSAC organization for this award and recognizing the work we do. I do apologize for not being there this morning. Unfortunately, COVID is still a part of our lives today, and so it had the last say in whether I could be in the office or not. But I just want to really, like Graham had mentioned earlier, the reflection and the collaboration and partnership amongst 3 organizations, 3 counties. I really just want to highlight my thanks and appreciation to the CAL FIRE, the Sheriff's Office, OES. Without their support, the program wouldn't be possible, as well as my colleagues in Placer and Yuba County, the Ag Commissioners there. And then lastly, like Steve had mentioned, Dan Macon, who's our livestock advisor with UC Cooperative Extension. He was really instrumental in this whole process. So I definitely want to give lots of gratitude to him. Honestly, I feel this program is going to save lives in the future. Ranchers no longer have to weigh whether to evacuate or stay and care for their livestock. So I think this program is super important to have in Nevada County. And, like Sue had mentioned earlier, Supervisor Hook had mentioned earlier, this is only one half of our ag community here, and we're already looking at ways to expand this program to our other crop producers in Nevada County. So I look forward to highlighting and bringing that to your board's attention in the near future on how we could expand this program. But again, I just want to say thanks to the CSAC and Graham. Thank you so much. Again, apologize I couldn't be there, but thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Mr. Chair, if I could make a comment or two around this as well. For your community, I think it's really important to understand the outsized impact that Nevada County has on the state of California and local government all across the state, because I'm here today related to this award, but there are many challenge awards that have been bestowed upon this county because you have created a culture of innovation. And that starts with your board and your CEO, and it flows through your organization. You've created a culture of innovation here to best meet the needs of your community. And that is incredibly important. It's a model for other counties as they think about how to navigate through a complex relationship with the state that often causes us heartburn, even though sometimes there are opportunities there as well, and to find ways to best deliver for your community. And Nevada County has a long history of doing that very thing. And so it is a particular honor to be able to recognize this board and the whole county of Nevada for the great work that you've done, because this program certainly is a reflection of that. So thank you for the opportunity to join you.
Thank you, Graham. And I would like to do a photo op here. We'll try to get Chris in the background, and Steve, if you would join us up front. Graham? Oh, that was great. All right, what do we got? Next, we have a proclamation declaring the week of July 16th through the 22nd as Probation Services Week. Is Jeff here?
Jeff is not here, but I'd like to introduce Mike Simnicki, who's going to be providing the presentation, and then also recognition of all the probation staff who are here as well to recognize their efforts, not only today, but throughout the year. Thank you for being here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Allison. Mike?
And distinguished members of the board, thank you for this opportunity to come this morning and acknowledge the great work of our officers that they do every day and our support staff. We have a great family, as you guys have probably come to learn over the last couple of years. And I want to make note of just an observation, if I will. I started my career 25 years ago here at Nevada County Probation, and we did things quite differently back then. We didn't know any better, and we didn't have all the tools that we have today. But we found that we were sending people to jail and juvenile hall as a response to people violating their probation. And that didn't work. And people just went in and out of jail, in and out of the hall, and right back out to the way that they were living their life previous. And it really was a revolving door. Today, probation officers realize that most individuals that go to jail or prison will be released back into the communities. They understand that the offenders we provide services to are part of the community. They are moms, dads, brothers, and sisters. There are many times people that have experienced some intense trauma in their lives. Officers know for them to successfully re-enter into the community, they need to be held accountable for the harm they have done to the community, while at the same time providing them with the tools they need to be successful in the community. And this is not an easy task. So that officers can manage their ever-expanding roles, they are relying on evidence-based practices. These are approaches and interventions that have been scientifically tested in controlled studies and proven effective to reduce reoffending among probation populations. This approach not only enhances public safety, but helps in mitigating the high cost of potentially ineffective approaches. Thank you again for the recognition and in joining me in honoring these amazing public servants during the week of July 16th through the 22nd. For pretrial probation and parole supervision week. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our 2022 Sworn Officer of the Year, Jeff French, who's going to say a few words. Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you, Mike.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the board. I wanted to express gratitude for the opportunity to be here before you today and briefly discuss the Nevada County Probation Department and the work we do on a daily basis. Probation officers take on many roles which vary from moment to moment. In one interaction, it may be necessary to act as a law enforcement officer, and in the next moment, we shift gears to become an advocate, a counselor, a broker of services, an active listener, or an involved community member. We can go from being a court officer to assisting with wildfire evacuations during the summer, or warming shelters during the winter, or simply supporting an individual attempting to manage an unexpected crisis. I'm currently serving as a deputy probation officer in the juvenile supervision unit, supervising youth between the ages of 12 and 18 years old. I also supervise the 18 to 25-year-old population of first-time offenders who are granted diversion and admitted into the Transitional Age Youth Program. Officers in our department also supervise more traditional adult and juvenile supervision diversion programs such as DUI court, mental health court, adult drug court, pretrial services. On the juvenile side, youth empowerment services court, which is known as YES Court. These programs and supervision styles enhance community safety and foster positive change for the individuals we serve. We strive to assist our clients to increase their motivation to participate in and engage in services offered in the community. We do this by getting to know our clients through contact in the community and in our office. We learn about the lives, both struggles and strengths, of those we serve. We actively participate in the court process, probation supervision, and treatment process. Trust gained through this allows us to receive and share information and make appropriate referrals into the community with our community partners who are able to meet specific needs of our clients. The local programs and providers provide that direct service aimed at reducing recidivism and improving the quality of life for the clients and our community. The probation partnership with these service providers helps enhance accountability and produce more consistent positive change, all while enhancing the efficacy of treatment and court-ordered supervision at the same time. Every probation response, intervention, or service referral is made with the intent to encourage that sustainable change. We serve many people and are proficient at identifying unmet needs. Our partnerships with individuals, families, and local service providers has extended the influence of the probation department further and deeper into the Nevada County community. The majority of my personal experience as an officer comes in the juvenile world and with the transitional age youth population. I've had the privilege of working with many youth and families and local service providers. Today I've invited someone to join us who I've partnered with on multiple occasions, both in the juvenile world and in the transitional age youth world, just to share some of her thoughts on partnerships with probation. Mary Beth Gallion, who is here with us, is a wraparound services facilitator with Victor Community Support Services. So I just want to give her a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Jeff. Like Jeff said, I work with Victor in the wraparound program. And for anybody that hasn't heard of that, we subcontract to county behavioral health for youth to provide mental health and behavioral services through a wraparound team-based model that's all about cooperation with families, other community organizations, and supports to help make positive change in those kids' lives. And it's just been incredible to work with probation on several cases. It was a real surprise to me to see how probation shows up in these kids' lives. You might think one thing when you think, oh, I've got a PO, you know, and then to actually see what it's like or how Jeff conducts himself in this county, comes fully onto the team and collaborates with myself and the therapists so that we're united behind the kid and the family in their goals. And so if you can only imagine, you know, being a teen on probation, having your therapist on one side, your counselor on the other side, coming behind you to support you in working towards improving your life, addressing those environmental factors as well as those internal factors to work towards, you know, improvement, just makes the biggest difference to them. I think they end up feeling incredibly supported, and I've seen, especially on the cases where we work together, some things that would feel impossible in terms of turning lives around really, really take place. And I think it's from that collaboration and cooperation that really makes it possible. And I just can't say enough for how wonderful it's been to work with probation in this county and the difference that it's making in the lives of our youth and families.
Thanks, Mary Beth, for being here and sharing your experience with us today. Working with our service providers, it provides us an amazing opportunity to just help support community members ultimately. And with the help of our community providers, we're able to hold our clients more accountable on a personal level and support them through that change process. It becomes more of a partnership and teamwork with those individuals. So in closing, probation's role is critical to the justice system today. Our reach in the community is increasing based on our relationships to community partners. Each of our officers in our department has had the privilege of playing a similar role in someone else's success and their continued growth and progress. Again, I'd just like to express gratitude on behalf of our department just for having us and allowing us to share what we do on a daily basis and for the recognition we've been given today. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And I think it's us giving you thanks for your service out here. And I think the beauty of this program is the recognition of what all you do Most people, including myself, don't realize the number of courts that you're involved with, the number of programs that you have. And Mike, as you mentioned before, the fact that your officers and your team, law enforcement, quickly becoming counselors. So it's just greatly appreciated for what you do. So thank you. Lisa, Supervisor Swarthout, I'll start with you.
Sure, yes. I would like to echo all of that. Thank you for the hard work that you do. In particular, all the community building that you do. I see probation at evacuation events, at the food bank, food distribution events, just really jumping in and helping. And in particular, I always enjoy seeing officers at the events that we have, because I think everybody's behavior might be a little bit better when they see you guys walking around. So thanks for all the hard work.
Sue?
No, what a great time to celebrate you all this week. So I'm happy to see this resolution come forward, and just want to thank you all. I mean, it was interesting, you talked about what it was like 20 years ago, 10 years ago even, how you've made changes. And it's exciting to see the work you're doing in our community. And I love the collaboration, because that really, it takes it all. And I really love the part where now you include the families. I feel like that's such a great part. You can't fix a spot here unless you take the whole ball in the I don't know, it just is, it makes me feel very proud and happy to see the work that you all do. And like Lisa said, it is fun. I've seen you out at the fairgrounds when they've needed extra people working. I've seen you at different activities. We watched you at the warming shelters come and be a part of that. You guys just step into every place that needs a gap to be filled, and that's so appreciated, so very much appreciated. So today we celebrate you all, and I like this for the whole week. So congratulations, and I hope you just reap in that feeling of a good feeling all week long for all the work you do.
Thank you, Sue. Hardy?
Yeah, congratulations. Thanks for coming and talking to us a little bit about it. I was reflecting on some of the social media posts you guys do, and you have a great internal culture in your department, right? And you're having fun and you're reaching into the community, and it seems like, kind of echoing what Graham was talking about earlier, you're innovating and you're creating new programs to serve people, and I really appreciate that, because government can be pretty siloed down and unified and kind of lack creativity, but that's not what I see in your department and your people and your leadership. So I just want to say thank you for getting out in front of it. There's always a little bit of risk there, but I appreciate it. And I was reflecting back on the Juvenile Justice Commission that Chair Schofield and I attended, and I learned more at that meeting. I'd encourage anybody to sit in on that meeting if you have a chance, because there's just comprehensive people from the NGO side and the county side all in this room talking about how to best serve clients. It was kind of inspirational to see how many people and hands and different levels of acumen and expertise come together to serve that population. So I was very impressed. And then thanks for you guys did the Special Olympics piece. Was that a couple weeks ago? Torch relay? Yeah. Thank you for doing that. And thank you for volunteering for our Heart of Gold ride as well. So much appreciated. And you guys deserve this award and much more. So thank you.
Eddie.
Echo my colleagues. Yet another department, let another group of people in Nevada County being innovative. Thank you for doing that and bringing your innovative ideas to this job that you have. I want to particularly thank you for the work that you are doing with youth. It is so incredibly important. You all are multitaskers extraordinaire. As you were explaining what you're doing, and that was my assumption, that you have to be tough one minute and compassionate the next. You get deep into people's personal lives, but you have to be respectful of that and have integrity. And then you help turn people's lives around. So when you catch them when they're young, and you can be a supportive group of people all on the same page helping someone, you're changing their lives, and you're helping the community for their entire lives. So it's just critically important work that you do. And I just deeply appreciate that you put your heart and soul in it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Heidi. And I echo everything also. Is there any public comment on this? Seeing none, Madam Clerk?
There are no callers or written comment.
Allison, comments?
Oh, I do have some comments. I don't get many opportunities to really personally thank you for all your work, and I really echo all the thoughts that the board members have shared. And I can think of many examples of where your department that does not have to be asked to assist, your department that sees a need, and then you volunteer where you could add value. Not only the examples that we've heard in terms of our community nonprofits, you've assisted with board meetings, you've assisted with storm events. I really want to recognize Karen Mueller, who recognized the board leading a youth commission and volunteered to co-coordinate that this summer. And it's just example after example where you've really elevated the services in Nevada County. So I just want to thank you for that.
And I must say, in my past history, I loved seeing you at the fair. I'd like to have I did ask the public, right? Yes. I'd like to do a photo op with everybody here, if we could, down in front.
Yeah, that's a good idea, and let them be in front of us. Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Thank you, folks. Hope you enjoy your week of recognition.
Chair Schofield, I do believe we should have a motion for this one.
Oh, absolutely. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion, Supervisor Hook, seconded Supervisor Bullock. Madam Clerk?
District 4?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes, unanimous. Thanks, guys. All right, I believe at this time we're going to take a quick recess to go into a closed session. This is, Madam Counsel, would you read us into closed session, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair Schofield. Pursuant to the agenda here and to Government Code 54956.9D2, County Council is requesting a closed session with the Board of Supervisors to discuss two matters in which there are significant threats of litigation against the county.
Is there any public comment on us going into closed session? Seeing none, I'll close that, and we will be back briefly.